The command deck of the UES Retribution hummed with controlled fury. Captain Frazen stood before the tactical display, her knuckles white against the console's edge. The holographic projection showed the smoldering remains of New Terran colonial settlement that had housed 40,000 souls, most of them children attending the Interstellar Education Summit. Had housed. Ma'am, the Krell fleet is maintaining position at the edge of the debris field, Lieutenant Finch reported, his voice steady despite the storm brewing behind his eyes. He'd lost his niece in the attack. 7 years old. She'd been learning to paint. Frozen didn't respond immediately. She was studying the alien vessel's sleek, predatory things that resembled deep-sea creatures more than spacecraft. The Krell had been humanity's rivals for decades, competing for resources and territory across 3 sectors. But there had been rules, unspoken rules, lines that civilized species didn't cross until today. They're broadcasting again, Finch said, his jaw tightening. Same message. They claim it was a military target, that our war academy was producing future soldiers. A school, Frozen whispered. They called a school a war academy. The bridge fell silent. Every officer present had seen the footage. Children's bodies floating among the wreckage, toys, books, a child's drawing of Earth, still clutched in small, frozen fingers. Frozen turned from the display, and Finch saw something in her expression that made his blood run cold. Not rage would have been understandable. This was something older, something that predated civilization and law, something that had lurked in humanity's shadow since the first cave paintings depicted hunting parties. Lieutenant Finch, Access Protocol, Pandora. The bridge erupted in whispers. Protocol Pandora wasn't in any official military database. A contingency plan developed by humanity's darkest strategic minds, the ones who understood that sometimes to protect innocence, you had to embrace its opposite. Captain, that protocol, it's never been authorized. It violates 17 interstellar treaties, Finch said, though his fingers were already moving across his console. The Krell violated the only treaty that mattered, Frozen replied. They declared war on children. Let them learn why humanity spent 10,000 years as apex predators before we ever reached the stars. The protocol unlocked. Finch's screen filled with deployment options that made his stomach turn. Psychological warfare algorithms designed to exploit Krell neurology, biological agents tailored to their genetic structure, nanite swarms programmed for maximum suffering, and darker things still, technologies humanity had developed but never deployed, locked away in digital vaults with the prayer that they'd never be needed. The fleet is ready, Captain, came the voice of Admiral Chen from the CUM. All 73 vessels, every captain has volunteered. We're awaiting your order. Frozen closed her eyes for a moment. She thought of her own daughter, safe on Earth, and felt a wave of gratitude and guilt. These children hadn't been hers, but they had been humanity's. Every species in the galaxy protected its young. It was the first law of nature. The Krell had broken that law. Now they would learn what happened when you woke. The monster humanity had tried so hard to cage. Begin Phase 1, Frozen commanded. Target their homeworld's communication satellites. I want every Krell in their empire to see what happens next. Finch executed the order. The Krell vessels at the debris field barely had time to react before they were overwhelmed. But the human ships didn't destroy them, not yet. They disabled them, cutting engines and weapons, leaving them to watch. Phase 2, Frozen said. The Retribution launched its payload not at the Krell ships, but at the debris field itself. Specialized drones moved through the wreckage, carefully collecting the bodies of the children. Every single one. Finch understood. The galaxy needed to see. The Krell needed to witness what they'd done, catalogued and broadcast across every frequency. They're hailing us, the communications officer announced. The Krell commander is demanding to speak with you. Put him through. The alien face appeared on screen, elongated, with multiple eyes arranged in a geometric pattern. The translator rendered his words in flat, emotionless tones. Human commander, you are in violation of. I'm going to stop you there. Frozen interrupted, her voice deadly calm. You don't get to talk about violations. You don't get to quote treaties or laws. You crossed a line that every sentient species understands. You murdered children. They were future enemies. We eliminated a threat. Frozen's laugh was bitter. Future enemies. You killed them for what they might become. Let me show you what we are right now. Phase 3 began. The human fleet didn't fire immediately. Instead, they transmitted. Every news outlet, every diplomatic channel, every frequency the Krell used, all of it was hijacked. And what they showed wasn't propaganda. It was truth. Footage from New Tehran, not sanitized, not edited. The reality of what the Krell had done, children's faces, their final moments, their dreams that would never be realized. And then, humanity's history, a species that had survived ice ages and plagues, that had turned on itself in countless wars, but had always protected its young. The Krell were about to learn what humans became when that last sacred rule was broken. Deploy the hunter-killer drones, Frozen ordered. Target the Krell fleet command structure. I want their leadership to understand personally what they've unleashed. Finch watched as the tactical display lit up with thousands of microdrones, each one programmed with lethal precision. They didn't seek to destroy ships. They sought specific targets, the ones who had given the order, the ones who had pulled the trigger. Within hours, 63 Krell commanders were dead, not from explosions, not from quick deaths, from swarms of nanites that had been programmed to inflict maximum pain while keeping their victims conscious. It was brutal. It was illegal. It was human. Captain, Finch said quietly, the Krell Collective is requesting immediate ceasefire negotiations. They're offering full reparations. Frozen stared at the display, at the alien vessels retreating in panic. Tell them negotiations will begin when they've delivered every individual involved in targeting New Tehran. And tell them that humanity's patience has a limit. They found it today. She turned to face her bridge crew, seeing the mixture of horror and approval in their eyes. They understood. The monster had been unleashed not from cruelty, but from necessity. To protect the future, sometimes you had to show the galaxy what humans were capable of when pushed beyond breaking. And Finch, she added softly, prepare a memorial. Those children will be remembered. By us. By the Krell. By everyone. In the cold mathematics of interstellar politics, humanity had just recalculated its position. No longer the diplomatic newcomers. No longer the species that could be tested. They were the ones who protected their young. And the galaxy would remember.